We drink to one podcast and one podcast only.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Liquid Therapy. I'm your host, Kenny T. We have Michael, Bob, Mark, Alex, Christian. I did it. Yes. I freaking did it. I freaking did it. Yeah, we got a big group here. Good setting. Outside, nice by the fire. Car season is over, and I'm really upset about it, but I had to get this thing behind me. It's beautiful. I saw it on the Black Car Guy.
Theblackcarguru.
Theblackcarguru, yes. I always mess that up, but I saw it on his TikTok. I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I think Pedro said something on Facebook, or you posted something somewhere, and I saw it. I'm like, holy hell, I would love to get that on a podcast. And sure enough, one message ended up into this night, and I'm excited. But tell us your story, how you got... Oh, you guys met Alex before, of course. He's been on the pod. Hi. How you doing?
Yeah, we brought Alex back. You can finish some of those stories from the last one.
Uh-oh.
That's why I wanted to have him back. I felt like he was cut short. So,
I had a good time the first time around. We'll have a good time tonight. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's already a success, right? You got all the names right?
Yeah, you got all the names right. Everything's good. Feel free to chime in whenever you want. I'm sorry about the short cord for the mics, though. You can do your best to get the two over here.
Well, I'm not worried
Alex
about
and Mark.
how they're going to get. I'm more worried about tripping over the cords than anything else, man.
I know, I think it'd be good.
I'm loud enough.
I did good. Actually, yeah, I'm picking you up a little bit. Just a little bit.
So, yeah, I mean, I own the Hell Wagon. I finished it 2 years ago. I built that one because of this one, Coyote Swap Fox Body. That was the third one done.
You said
the world.
Third one?
Yeah, third one in the world. So Kurgan built one. I think that was his first one he built for Ford. And then there was one that I think Ford built, maybe another one. It was a red one that Kurgan built, I think, a blue one, and then mine was built, and then a silver one after mine. So we were all the first ones that were done.
Wow. When what year was that?
2012.
Really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
2012. So it's been about 12 years now that I've had it. And it's been great. Like, it's a great car. I can drive it anywhere. So it worked out so well. I thought I'd do it again. Of course, the second time was a nightmare, but we'll get to some of that later.
Yeah.
But I guess, I'll start all the way back to Matchbox cars, man. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up playing with cars and had a ton of them. My dad used to take me to, like, the World of Wheels. Fell in love with cars back then. And, I do little repairs and stuff with my dad, of course. Learned all the, the swear words from him. And, went to high school, and I had some friends that had nice cars. Buddy Steve had a Mustang. I think I envied a lot of those guys. Ken had a GTO with a big blower sticking out of it, a friend of mine. So,
What year
I mean,
GTO?
they had really nice cars, and all I was, getting to school was with my Reeboks, I'm getting to school on my feet. So I didn't know what I'd ever have. But,
Well, we're talking high school days. They probably would have been a late 60s, early 70s GTO.
yeah, back then,
Original.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, old one. Sorry, not the new one like you have.
Yeah,
Ken.
I was going to say, wait, but what year was it?
It would have been an older one, like Bob said, 68, 69, somewhere around there.
See, that's the year that I won.
I just remember the dual headlights, up front, stacked.
Oh, God.
So, I loved coming out to see his car in the parking lot. But yeah, I never expected I would ever have anything like that. But first car out of college I bought was this thing. I bought the Vert.
Really?
So, I bought
Are these things numbered, too, by the way?
Are they numbered?
Yeah,
No.
since they were like the first three Coyote swapped and everything.
I mean, I know it's the first 3 because there weren't any others done at the time, but
Okay.
I don't know that we all go around numbering them.
Oh, okay. I
They're
wasn't
not
sure.
Like,
Wasn't
it's
sure.
not like a Celine or something like that
Yeah.
where you got like your number on the bumper.
Yeah.
Not like it's a say.
It's no, since we're all doing it individually, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think still there are people that do refer to it as the OG swap.
Yeah.
So if you go into like Coyote Swap, Fox Bodies, like one of the pages, if my car is like ever put on there, somebody will be like, "Oh, the OG, still love this one," that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it still gets some love. But
So you referred to the other 2 individuals. Did they inspire you to do it, or did you already have that thought in your head?
no, they just beat me to it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was already in the works. You know, look, this car was a beast. It was 680 horsepower pro charged car, but this lovely lady never wanted to drive in it. It was too loud. It
Too
was
rowdy.
stinky. She hated it, and so I redid it. I wanted something. Hi, Paige.
Yeah.
I wanted something. She would like to drive in with me, and so that's how the idea got started.
Has to be comfortable for the missus. My buddy David does that in his GTO all the time. I'm like, oh, it smells so good.
Flavored fuel.
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. So.
Put some 110 in it. Smell the lead.
So I mean, I thought the Coyote would just be more efficient.
Yeah.
It wouldn't, and it is. Thankfully, it ended up being exactly what I wanted.
That's
so,
good. That's really good.
It doesn't make the amount of power that the old motor did, but it's still every bit as fun. It's still every bit. Actually, the quarter mile times were almost identical, lower mile an hour, but still the same ET.
So that's a good, like, notice most people now the car scene is just like completely different from what I came into. I think now I just want to build a car, finish my GTO, and I'm not out to beat anybody. I just want to go out and just rip a few runs with some friends and call it a day. Like, I'm not trying to race you for any money. Oh, your car's slow. Like, no, I'm not.
Coming from
really.
someone that wasn't a big, like,
Don't take the mic, man.
not like I was, okay.
How we
It's
doing?
close enough
So,
now, see?
yeah, I mean, coming from someone that wasn't like a big like grudge race guy or anything, you know, I mean, it's just back from when I first met you, right? Back then, if guys wanted to race, they weren't spending 3 weeks trying to do research on the other person's setup. And at the same time, it's like they had their setups ready. They weren't going on YouTube saying like, all right, if I buy this turbo kit with these bolt-ons and, you know, mix in this percentage of E85, this percentage of 93, then I'll be able to go this fast. And these will be the XYZ cars I can beat on this side. No, they just lined up and raced. Like, those are the days that I miss.
You remember
Most of the time when you talk to
what day was that?
guys and girls running, they ask too many questions, and nobody, social media world where
social
everybody's
media's
afraid of
overpricing.
the quote unquote embarrassment that you're gonna get if you lose a race. That's gonna last for the weekend. You know, don't shift your car into reverse at the launch or whatever, and you'll be fine. You know, like just just run your car. Just run your car. And
Do you remember that night that me, Zach, and Trevor did 3 wide right in front of Simon Says? On a green light, we stopped and just gunned it.
I feel like, yeah, we don't have that anymore. Simon Says in Mexico, right? Not Maryville, Indiana. Not in
Mexico.
Yeah.
That one's way better anyway.
Yeah.
But the following day, we got banned from, the following weekend, we got banned from Blue Top in Mexico because the owner wasn't too happy.
I miss those days for sure. That's one thing I miss, you know.
We were having fun on the way to Redemac. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we had a great time.
They had no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what
mean,
the hell was
see,
that?
Michael used to come out. He's so generous now, but before, like when I first met Mike, he didn't want anybody looking under his hood. Like he's like, look, man, this is a stock Mustang. Man, he used to piss people off with this thing.
So when I first built this thing, you know, it was kind of that whole thing of, you know, everybody's trying to find out what you got.
Yeah.
They don't want to race unless they
He
know
loved the
everything about it.
mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when this thing was finished, I used to call out the world with this thing. I'd say I have a stock motor Mustang,
Sleeper. It's just a sleeper.
and I'd just say that. I'd say it's a stock motor Mustang. Everything else is done. It's full suspension, everything else, but it's stock motor. I didn't say what motor. I just said it's a stock motor.
It's a stock Ford.
I would say
5.0.
Ford. You're right. Someone would be like, "Oh, so it's LS swap?" No. It's a stock Ford motor. Well, the Coyote was pretty new back then, so most people weren't thinking I stuffed a Coyote in here. Being it was the
that's a
third
tight
one
fit.
done, they weren't expecting that yet.
That's a tight fit.
So
Looks factory
Hell, most
too.
people didn't even know Coyote was the Mustang.
exactly. So
thought
it
it
was
was 5.0.
it was too new. It was 2012. The car had just come out.
I will say that when I first got my GTO, I was beating those 5.0s, and I was damn near stock. Just saying, putting that out there.
Yeah, but that's a 4,000-pound Coyote car. This is a 3,000 pound.
I
Coyote
trust me.
car.
I was getting to that. Don't put
It's
me
a
out
little
there.
bit different.
Come on, man. Let
It's
me
a
have a
little
moment.
different.
Let me have the moment. But yeah, tell me about the Mustang, dude. Because that honestly, when I saw it, I thought it was just like a regular Mustang. I didn't know it was Coyote swapped. And now that I'm looking at it, I see your brake calipers and everything else, and it's like, okay. Then you told me about Zach's little race. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with you.
Yeah, it's just it is a stock Coyote. It still is. So in 12 years, that car has not changed. It's
Really?
pretty much how I finished it. Motor's still in it as
No
it was.
cam,
It's
nothing,
stock.
nothing.
The day I raced Zach, the car was going 11.7s back then. So it's still doing that same number now. And
How long ago was that?
I mean, the car's not the car run. So I used to do a little event that I would call out Northwest Indiana Car Enthusiasts, and I would say, "Run your car, not your keyboard," because too many keyboard warriors talking about this and that.
I was wondering what you were talking about when you said that. I'm like, we're gonna get into that.
Mike
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a menace to society. That's what you need to understand.
I called out the world.
This man will be out here by himself, standing on business. Talking about, I thought you said you was gonna pull up. You'd be the only one.
I
You
would-
would take a video. I thought y'all was gonna come out. He said, I thought you were bad. You ain't bad.
So I wanted to have fun with it. It was done. It was fast. It was fun, and I missed that. Kind of getting out and racing every Sunday. I moved here from Utah, and out there every Sunday was race day for us. We would race the road into the canyon. Cody and my other friends, we'd all meet up. He had a Mustang. He helped me with this thing out there, and we'd race BMWs, and some guy would But every Sunday was race day. We'd go out and have fun. I just remember one story. The one from BMW guy, he lost me 3 times. But he kept betting over and over again, like he was, this time I'm going to get it. No, man, I was short shifting the last 3 times we raced. You're not going to win.
That's typical BMW owner stupidness right there. You think you're going to change a mode and the world's going to change.
Yeah, he had all the money, but not the. So, yeah.
Intelligence.
You got money and no common sense.
Yeah.
Those were fun times. So I missed some of that. I called out some of the people on Northwest Indiana Car Enthusiasts on Nice, and like he said, some of them run their mouth a lot. And finally, I'm just like, I just call out everybody. I'd create an event. I'd invite everybody. I'd be like, come on out. I got a stock motor Mustang. Let's go. And it was great because I got a lot of races. I go to the track.
Fishing, that's what that was.
Just
You were
lining them
fishing.
up left and right. So the most, and that's how I met Mark. I think Mark agreed to come out. I don't even know if you came out to some of those, did you? Yeah, I think but we met through that and kept in touch and did other meets and stuff and driving out to that kind of stuff. But I don't think the racetrack we ever made it to. No. But yeah, I think one of the best times of Cars Not Keyboard was I had said it was a stock motor. Somebody said, no, it's not. I said, I'll bet you $100. I'll pop the hood. If it's stock, throttle body to pan, you owe me another $100. And he's like, okay. So I popped the hood, and I didn't lie. It was stock motor. Yeah. I didn't make him pay. I didn't take his money. But
Stop being so nice.
I was nice.
I would have
about
took it.
I was nice.
Man. Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't lying. It was stock motor. So stock Ford motor, throttle body pan. So yeah, I met Mark through that. I met Alex, before that. Just he's such a youngster back then.
You met Blue 350Z, Alex. That's how long I've known Mikey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the Blue 50, the 350Z. That
This
was
is how much I raced. I raced my wife's GTI against his blue 350Z. That's how much I raced back then.
that one right there.
Anything. Yeah, the one she still has right there. He saw the taillights of that night.
Oh,
Are you sure about that?
Positive. You don't have to try to act cool about it. I'm 100% positive you saw taillights.
Man.
that's good.
So,
I want to get into, before we get into the cash money, big money pit over there.
yeah. That one.
As you guys can see in some of the camera angles here, we have cars behind them that I would like to talk about. Bob, since you got the mic right there, go ahead and talk about your beauty right there behind you.
This is basically a car that was bought from having my 91 LX hatchback totaled
Oh,
in March of 2023.
okay.
So after getting insurance money, buying the car back because of everything that was done to it, then bought this, then took all my tubular A-arms, Coney suspension, coilovers, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
Took the good stuff, so then the rest of the stuff goes into another Mustang I've got. I've got a 90 25th anniversary hatch. So I'm
Jesus.
going to take all the 5.0 drivetrain interior. It's got the sport interior instead of
Really?
the base model stuff. So basically take one, make a new one
Yeah.
in that. But yeah, this thing's been a love-hate relationship since day one.
I feel like that's every car, though.
Yeah, well,
I feel like that's every
and like
car.
I say, you always think in your head, there's good in people. No, there's not.
Yeah.
I trust no one, and I don't even trust myself at times.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so it's just like buying somebody else's headache that they say, oh yeah, everything's great. So
Yeah.
within 6 weeks, I grenaded a transmission coming back from Martin, Michigan from the NMRA, NMCA events, just to go to the car show. Was not drag racing. So got to mile marker 44, and she went grenade. Only gear I had was fourth.
Oh.
So
That's an interesting rest of your drive.
Oh.
we got to the rest stop. My buddy was behind us, luckily far enough that he came with the trailer, unloaded his 93 Cobra. I drove that back to my house, got the transmission that I was going to put in the red 91 that never made it, thankfully, to put back in my new 93 that I just bought 6 weeks prior.
Jesus.
So it's just like, yeah,
Boom, boom,
little things
boom,
here and
boom,
there.
boom. Yeah, everywhere. That's
But
crazy.
upgrades, I've got the car basically where I want it for now. But like I say, it's all about money.
Trust me, I know all
How
about
deep
that,
pockets
bud.
are they?
I've been working
Don't
on my
know.
car for 5 years.
Yeah.
So it will be done next year, Alex. So calm down.
Hey, I
Next
You ain't
year
got
it'll
no.
be done.
Hey, you don't got to explain nothing to him on cars being done.
got a car that I am not done with yet either, so we'll see what happens.
Mine's there. It's I'll be putting a video out on it. I've been slowly getting clips of it, but all I got left is build the hot side and cold side and some cosmetic stuff, and it should be done, hopefully. But
Everybody always wants
Shit's
either
expensive.
a whistle or a whine. So,
I like a wine.
me too.
I like a little bit of a wine.
You got to find the old school wine,
Yeah. Yeah.
the high wine. But yeah.
Trying to, oh, dang it. See, went blank. Christian. Got it. I go blank after a while, but I got it. Christian.
Came through.
Yeah.
So, the BMW is fairly new. I actually didn't anticipate falling into the category of a BMW owner.
I mean-
Dude, there's so much.
I see the blue. No. Is that a M series?
No, yeah, I ain't got that kind of pockets. It's a 340i M Sport, so it's nothing.
I was gonna say the
Nothing
same
crazy
thing.
like that. I actually came from the VQ platform, and that was just turned into an all-hate relationship. So, long story short, my dad was really big into Infinity. He had a G35. He upgraded to a G37, had it for a very long time. He had some medical stuff going on. It was a manual. He couldn't drive it anymore. He gave me a great deal on it. I've been into cars. My first degree is in automotive technology, so was started off in VWs, and once I picked that car up, I was early on in my career, so it wasn't like making tons of money, so that car stayed fairly stock for a very long time. Basic tune, exhaust, intake, that was it. And if any of you know what VQ platforms look like, that is probably the most entry level you're going to go before you're reaching into your pockets, and then that's where the love-hate relationship goes.
Mm-hmm.
I attempted to boost it with a supercharger kit, and that's when all hell broke loose. I chased that path for maybe 2.5, 3 years, went through 4 motors, 3 different tuners, and it was not. It was one of those things where I was chasing kind of the nostalgia of, hey, this was my dad's car, make it better, make it a classic car.
Mm-hmm.
That car also got totaled. I built it, or I bought it back. It was a rebuilt title, had the entire car repainted, like from top to bottom.
Jesus.
It was just put back together really well, and according to the insurance company, the motor was worth more than the car at that point, but
Probably.
ended up never working out. And after the last motor blew up, I sold it within literally 2 hours of the motor blowing, and just had a basic Toyota Corolla for about a year. And then this came across online close to Indianapolis, and I went to pick it up, and just your basic BMW full bolt-on kind of stuff. I'm not willing to go through the process of
I don't blame you.
going a crazy upgrade with hybrid turbos or whatever. Even though the majority say it's safe on these cars, I'm not willing to do it. The new technology now is good for me. My wife also likes driving it. She enjoyed the Infiniti because it was a manual, but she enjoys the luxury of the new cars, and technology just makes it enjoyable for the whole family to do. So I'm happy it moves out for my style of driving and what we all like to do here. It can handle going to the track. It's obviously not going to put up crazy track time numbers, but it's really fun to drive, and you can take it to just about any event and participate, and it's been really reliable ever since. So
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Yeah.
I went to LS Fest, and you had your Beamer boys.
Oh, I feel like
They stay in a clique.
Yes. But they also have an identity crisis because they'll just show up at just about anything, whether
Really?
it's like 4 BMWs or not. It's funny.
They were fast,
yes,
though. I'm not gonna lie.
BMWs
They
are
were
party
fast.
crashers.
Alex, you can go, though, if you want.
Let Mark go.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to pause here, everybody. This car is my dream car. It's beautiful. Fucking love it. Drove it once. Not that one, but I drove one once. Ever since then, fell in love. All right, I'm done. I had drool over it a little bit.
Yeah, they're little go-karts, though.
They are, but they're fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. It was my first time actually driving a manual that didn't have a clutch.
Right.
It was weird. Really weird.
Weird being an automatic, though, roll backwards.
Yeah. Weird, but sorry, go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
no, it's a 2019 GT3 RS. I picked that up about 5-6 months ago.
Oh, damn. So it's new.
Yeah, it's new to me, so.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just, it's good for me. A good track
Oh,
car
yeah.
that I like to take occasionally to the track once or twice a year and be on it. And like you said, it's kind of the perfect combination. It's
Yep.
quick enough to rip out a red light. It sounds amazing, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing done to it is an exhaust, which,
Honestly, that's all you kind of need.
yeah, that's all you need.
You don't need to be going crazy with that thing. It's just, to me, it's a perfect track car.
And I don't care what anybody says. There is not a microphone in the world that does your car justice with an exhaust on those things. It sounds so good. If you see him out and you are behind it, if he rips on it, it is one of the best sounding cars ever.
What exhaust you got on there?
It's a JCR. Still has cats and everything, but basically no muffler. It's almost essentially straight.
It's too late. No, don't do it.
What
It's too late in the night. Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do
It's
that.
all
If it was my neighborhood, I'd be like, dude, rip it down the damn street. This
Maybe
is,
after this.
no, don't do it. This is not my neighborhood. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get
It's
in
not
trouble.
mine either.
We're gonna put a sound clip off Calumet on the corner.
Yeah,
What for the light to go green?
that'd be
What do you
good.
need?
That would be good. God, everybody has. Alex, you want to go? You want to talk about your car, your projects?
Oh man.
I don't even know what you have anymore.
Well,
I don't think he does
you
either.
can- I don't think you can see it tonight. I didn't really park in the fashion of the crowd over here.
Is it hot down there?
I drove my M56S tonight, my Infiniti M56S. I stayed in the Infinities. Unfortunately, Christian didn't listen to me as far as who to go to for a tuner.
That's not true.
With his G37.
That's not true.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I really miss your G37. This is awesome though. This BMW definitely grew on me. That Christian got, but I'm glad that you love it and your family loves it. My M56S was just a part of the trilogy of the new V8M that Infiniti introduced back in 2003. I've had the privilege to experience all three generations. The first gen M45. I originally helped my buddy Kyle Smoda get that car. That one was an 03 that we found in Nevada. And that was like one of his first cars. He had a couple hiccups with it and just kind of wanted to upgrade to a new tech car. He ended up getting a new Volkswagen at the time, and he pretty much just gave me the car. He was like, hey, get this thing out of my garage. So I took it, fixed the things that needed to be fixed on it at the time. Found a deal on some BC coilovers. One of the things that he was griping about was like the suspension was shot, and we went back and forth. I'm like, you can get a deal for BC coilovers and just be done. You know, we won't have this conversation again. But he just didn't want to do it. Never got to it. Whatever the case may be. So yeah, put some BC coilovers on that thing, and he did this little cutout exhaust mod on the thing that made it sound really good. You could turn it on and off, and so that was cool. But that wasn't my first M. My first M was my 2006 M45 that I still have. I found that car in Texas.
You went to Texas to get that car?
No, it got shipped out here. And that one I just pretty much made a sleek cruiser, put Rohanas on it, 5% tint on the windows, and never touched the exhaust for whatever reason. Maybe I will someday, but that car was a loyal daily to me for over 6 years or so. So shortly after I got the twin turbo 350Z running, dailying a twin turbo 350Z was just nonsense. So back then I was like, I gotta find a car that I can put this thing away for a little bit. And you know, I met Chet. His name was Chet. I don't know if it was Chet Mosby or Chet Clark. I'm sorry, Chet, I'm butchering your last. It's been a while, but I saw his first gen M45 back when if you remember, we used to go to foreign diplomats meets, and they would do get-togethers at Torrance, off Torrance Avenue, the Sonic off Torrance over there. So one night, Chet came in a first gen M45, and I was like, man, what? I didn't even know. I didn't register what the car was at the time because he had it lowered and all a bunch of different things done to it. It looked really good, and I was like, yeah, this will work, because I didn't want a boring or like a standard daily. I just needed something with a little personality on a budget, right? You know, so on a budget, right? On a budget ball. So, so yeah, M45 was great to me for a long time. Still is, still in my possession. And then the third gen, which ended up being the final gen, which is the M56 that evolved into the Q70. And then the Q70, you know, what they did with Infiniti after the second gen and third gen, you had the V6 option, then they gave you the V8 option. And then in the final gen with the M, you had the M37 body, which was if you upped it, was the M56 with the 5.6 liter. So mine is an M56 Sport, 5.6 liter. with all the new Infinity tech, navigation, sport package, it tells you the weather, it tells you everything, really, really cool, smart muscle car sedan, with the luxury touch to it. And definitely pretty quick for what it is.
Have you ever thought about working for Infinity?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing because you know pretty much everything about them right now.
I just went to go look at a car, and a car salesman was talking to me for the last 6 hours, and I really felt like I was back there today.
Yeah, I mean, know your product, right? And
Yeah,
know what
you
you're
are
know what
lying.
you're driving, even if you're
There's times customers go into wherever, they know more about the product than the people that are selling.
100%.
yeah.
Doesn't matter
Yeah.
what market.
Car salesman, do your research. Yeah, true.
Very
That is true. You've told me stories about salesmen that couldn't even tell you what was under the hood of the car you were looking at. So
They don't know what they're selling or what they're buying.
no,
Try to sell the truck. They're like, oh, that's a 5.7.
yeah,
Oh, what is? No,
no, you go.
6.2, bud. Come
Yeah.
on, 6.2.
So the M56 I've had for a couple years. That was a California car. Still has the California sticker on the driver's side window for but yeah, yeah. So the story on that essentially was back when the car was new. The original owner did something, hurt the motor, and essentially the shop that he took it to, they couldn't figure out what was wrong with the car, and it ended up in the possession of a family friend of mine named Eddie, which runs one of the forums. His nickname is Ed Boy. Ed Boy is on YouTube.
I think I've seen a few of his videos.
Yeah, so he took possession of the car to try to save it and got caught up with too many projects and never got around to it. So when him and I were talking, I was in the process of going to be purchasing one of his already running M56s, and then ultimately he was like, I also have this other one that I could also cut you a deal for just to get it out, just to get it out of the way. So we ended up doing that. The car got brought over to me, and my friend Ricardo and I, with him and his dad in his shop, was able to help me get that car together, and I've had it ever since. It's been one of my favorite rides outside of the rest of the roster.
I think you should write a book about all the cars you've had and what you've been through.
I think, well, if you want to talk about what I've been through, you want to talk about a roster, let's talk about this guy next to me, Mark Royster, okay? Mark Royster, okay, he's had a roster of cars, and one of my favorite cars that he's ever had, one that he let me drive, was his 900 horsepower ZR1 supercharged orange vet. That thing... To this day, anytime I tell people this story, like, it's still an unbelievable experience. Yes, it was. Yes, the atomic orange.
Oh God, that's my favorite color.
Yes. Yes. So it was Cars and Coffee at Tire Barn. Regional Car Club was hosting it with Jose and them all the way over there. Yeah.
How long ago was this?
This was a couple years ago.
During COVID.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So.
Get out.
I don't blame him.
So
I haven't even seen the car. I'm like, where's it at? Let me drive it right now.
Yeah, so Mark and I were just small talking. He pulled up and we were just talking about the car, and just jokingly, I was like, man, you should let me drive. He was like, okay.
You said that to me a few times. I'm like, no, sorry.
So we get in this thing, and I don't know if people were waiting for me to do like a burnout or something. I'm like, hey, let me get on the street, So Mark's passenger, I'm driving this thing, and what I want you to understand about this car that is very specific in high detail, I want you to understand that if you hit if you punch it in first gear, everybody knows, even the slowest of cars, what a car feels like when you hit it in first gear. Now I want you to think about how it feels when every single gear, when you hit it, feels like you're hitting it in first gear. This car was fast. This car was so fast.
No,
of course not.
In Mexico, that's it. We did the speed limit. Just
Man.
got there very fast.
I mean, that was a beautiful experience.
Yeah. So was the Corvette the precursor to
The Porsche.
GT3?
Yeah.
Jesus
another one.
Christ.
I had probably the one that you remember, and was the C7 Z06. It was black. And I remember David Stewart is your friend. We went out to Michigan City one time.
Short David?
Yeah.
Short? Yep, I know him.
Yeah.
I know two Davids. There's David Stewart and then David Parks.
And he was mad that time because
yeah.
he was pissed because he said the slowest car got the ticket. That day that he got pulled over.
I remember that.
Yeah. So around the same time of that, but always being money pits and throwing faster and faster into stuff. So, and then eventually you grow out of that. And
so is that the only car you got right now? It's just a Porsche?
yeah. I mean, I have a daily driver. Like, yeah, downsized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
You did downsize to one Corvette after that, though.
Yeah. I had a C7 ZR1 after that. God. That got passed on to my dad. My dad wanted to keep that in the family.
Oh, yeah, I believe it. Yeah. I would too.
And what made you make that transition?
Yeah.
Everyone always, well, to start, like, I had the C7 ZR1, and then I was doing car rallies and stuff. And everyone always told me that the Corvette was always going to be a stepping stone to a Porsche.
Really?
Everyone always told me that.
I can see that, yeah.
And, like, at the time, I was like, nah, like, GM. I was always a big GM fanboy.
Okay.
And then going on car rallies after that, you see all these other cars, and you just would hear, you're driving the back roads behind, like, on the mountains and stuff. You just hear the exhaust echo off of the trees. And then just being around them and stuff, it was like, I see why people like these.
Okay.
It's nice for just those back roads on mountains and shit, dude. It's oof.
Now, was it the experience of the rallies and the drives that made you kind of zero in on those, or it was just?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
The drives and then just being around them, just seeing that. I mean, you can have a GM car with twice the horsepower, and those things are still keeping up or pulling away from you.
Yeah.
Just because.
It's always been the theory: if you don't have the suspension to handle the horsepower, it doesn't matter how.
Yeah.
much
What good is it?
Yep, true. Very true.
I learned that back in the day riding motorcycles, road racing. You could have the most high-tech suspension and stock engine. And the guy could have built engine and stock suspension, and you're gonna walk away from it.
Yep.
Because you can hook it up.
Mark, you had some pretty high horsepower Cadillacs in those times, too. So.
Yeah, we skipped a couple.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
dude.
we skipped a. He's being nice, but he skipped through a couple cars. It wasn't just
God
the
damn, dude,
CR1
what?
after that.
Oh, hold on a goddamn. I remember you now. Hold on
I mean,
a
it's
damn
been some
minute.
years,
I
but-
remember you now.
Yeah.
You
What
had
did you
the CTSV. It was red, wasn't it? Two-door? Or black?
Different ones. Different person you're thinking of, but
What
that's
did
how
you
we-
have when I first met you?
I
No?
had an ATSV.
Yeah.
It was black.
Yeah, the black
It
one.
probably was ATSV.
Did you have something else at that same time?
The C7 Z06 at the time.
Yeah, the C7, the black one.
Yeah.
Right. So
And then
That's when I
eventually
met
ended
you.
up moving to a CT5 Blackwing.
yeah, you
And-
did skip a few Cadillacs after that. Yeah.
Dude, I swear, now that I'm thinking about it, I know I've seen you before. And it was in a Cadillac.
Yeah.
Had to be a fucking Cadillac.
Tell us more about the Blackwing.
I was gonna say you still got your black one, right?
No.
I just got rid of that.
You sold the black one.
See, you're the type of people I just want to hit. Because you just keep selling all the
Because I
good
have to be
shit.
responsible for that. I'm in the process of building a house, so something had to go. So
It's funny how it's interesting to hear somebody
Responsibilities.
say
Yeah.
somebody go from a sedan to a Porsche and call that the responsible.
Yeah.
Most people
I call
that's-
bullshit.
Most people are going to hear that and be like, "Wait, what?"
No, I hear you, though.
Some guy's out there
I did
having
the
to
same
sell
thing.
his Porsche so he can fit his kids in the back seat of the Cadillac right now, going, "Wait, what? That's the how? This is the irresponsible thing? Is he telling me?"
Jesus.
that's probably my all-time favorite car, actually, out of all of
Yeah.
them. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it's just something about a fast four-door.
Yes.
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 Mine was an auto. It was a 10-speed, just because I did daily drive that. Didn't matter if it was snowing, 2 feet of snow.
Are you talking about the Blackwing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it, I want one of those. I used to work at the Cadillac dealership, and they got one in. I'm like,
Because of
It's
him,
nasty.
I'm still somewhat searching for one. So.
really?
Yeah, I want a manual and I don't want grayscale, so it's been really hard to
I drove
find.
one around a dealership, the manual one. It is comfortable. It's rowdy as hell. It's stupid fast. I'm surprised I didn't get fired that day. Really surprised.
That chassis is amazing. Like Mark let me drive that one, and I thought that chassis was just fantastic. Like for a 4-door car to be that nimble and for the chassis to be that dialed in.
Excuse me.
Product well done.
Somewhat what made the precursor to getting the Hell Wagon.
No, well, the Hell Wagon was. Well, we talked about the Coyote swap being, 10 years driving it anywhere. It got to the point where I would drive that thing cross country. I trusted it so much, and it had worked out so well. Paige wanted to drive in it again, so we were back to, going out with the top down
And that is auto, right?
No, it's manual. It's a
It's
banger.
manual, really?
Yeah. So
6-speed.
it's a 6. But we would go out, drive through the dunes with the top down, have fun, and so the car really worked out well. I needed a new, 4-door car for the family to go around in, and I don't know. I looked at several different. I drove a Hellcat. I hated it.
Really?
I was actually Alex took me over to Thomas Dodge, and I drove a Hellcat around. I wasn't trying to get on or anything, just trying to feel out the suspension. Is this a car that I would want? And that thing, I could feel every bump in the road. And I actually asked the guy, I'm like, does this even have an independent rear suspension? And I don't think he knew what I was talking about.
Most likely not.
Again, back to the dealers, right? So we got out of the car. I did a push-up underneath, trying to see up. And sure enough, it had an independent rear suspension. I was like, it just didn't make sense. How do you have an independent rear suspension where that whole rear just shakes and moves around over every bump and whatnot? And I could feel everything. So I thought, well, the Coyote worked out so well. It's pretty reliable. Maybe I'll just build something. So
that's where bad ideas go.
I thought I wanted a wagon, and so I thought of a few different wagons that I could stuff an LS into, right? But none of them had everything worked out where you could get in and use every single thing, air conditioning, everything, all the dash. Like on my Coyote swap, everything works, every gauge works, every button does what it's supposed to do. But on some of the swaps that I was looking at, I couldn't find anybody that had figured it completely out, where everything does what it's supposed to do. LS into a Beamer, LS into a Caprice, LS into a Volvo.
What made you want to do LS? Just because it's cheaper to do,
it's
knock out?
easier, it's smaller.
Yeah.
I would have done a Coyote too, but a Coyote into an old Falcon, but I don't know, a Falcon that's really old. I wanted to, be able to take the family in, so I wanted some updated technology to it.
A little bit more reliable too.
Well, like I said, modern convenience is always what everybody wants.
Yeah.
So then I thought of the Magnum, and I was like, well, that's the original chassis for today's Charger. So that means everything from today will swap into that. Is pretty much what I thought about it, and did some of the research, and sure enough, yeah, it's the cradle and the front cradle, the rear cradle, everything will drop out. So the motor, everything comes out, bolts right in.
Really?
That's the easy part. The rest of it was a pain. But if I figured, well, maybe that'll work. So, but I'd already driven that Hellcat, and I was like, I don't want that chassis sucked. I gave it one more try. This was a year later, 2 years later. I'm still mulling over what I'm gonna do, and I drove a wide body, and the wide body solved everything. I don't know how it did it. But everything about the car was completely different. It didn't bounce over every bump. It was more planted. I mean, you've got more rubber, and you've got, it's a wider track. So I thought, okay, I can do this. I can put a Hellcat into a Magnum, and started looking at how to do it. And the only thing that bothered me about it was just the exterior. The front of the Magnum is somewhat dated.
Yeah, it's outdated. It's nasty.
So I was like, well, I looked around for options. I found a guy, the 300s, the older 300s, they'll just bolt right on. So that's
really
easy. That's an easy swap. Didn't love the 300 front ends. The Charger front end is pretty popular. There's lots of those out there, but that didn't do it for me either. And then I thought, like, well, the old 60s hot rod, like, they used to have, like, Challengers and, like, Cudas that they would do renderings of in, like, a wagon or even a shooting brake with being a two-door. And I thought they looked pretty cool. And I was like, well, that's just the modern Challenger. So let's do the modern Challenger on there. So that's what I ended up with. But the reliability of the Coyote was the reason that I did that.
Really? That honestly, it looks so good.
Thanks.
This car looks amazing. Me personally, I love the Challenger front end. I don't think a Charger front end would have made it stand out as much as the Challenger front end does. But the process of it, what motor do you have in this thing?
It's full Hellcat.
Full Hellcat.
Everything.
Jesus Christ. We were talking earlier while I was setting up and everything that some of the parts on there took you like this one of one.
Yeah, and so that's where some of the differences, like I told you before, it was because of this car that I built that one. It didn't work out to be the same as this one. Like this one, I can drive around, not worry about anything.
Yeah.
That one, look, and let's be real, like some of these Fox body parts aren't even that as readily available as they used to be. But, if I needed a new bumper, I can get a new bumper, right? It's out there. Well, if this one gets hit from the rear, that's a one of one bumper. It's 3 different bumpers that I plastic welded together and spent 40 hours of at least just in that, like, to make it look like it's stock. But it's one of one. So if this thing anything happens to it, I can't replace it.
So you did most of the fabrications and everything on here.
My hands were on everything. Yeah, it was a team of us down in Houston.
Jesus Christ.
2 years I went down there every month. But there's nothing that I didn't touch.
That's insane.
Reliable. Would you call it on par?
Yeah, that's why it's kind of a sad story, right? I built it because this one was so bulletproof and reliable, and I drive it everywhere. I don't know. It's still new, I guess. It's been 2 years. It's not left me stranded.
It's only been 2 years?
Yeah, I've had it for 2 years. The wagon's been done for 2 years now.
Yeah. I thought it's been like 3, 4,
No, the wagon's really new. But
Does it feel like you've had more bumps along the way after it's been completed in comparison?
yes. Some of that is I was just trying to get it out of Houston. I brought it home and it was not done.
That's understandable.
Right? It was not done. And so back here we got it, done enough that I'm comfortable driving it wherever and everywhere. And which I am now. I'm driving it tomorrow. I'm heading to Michigan. I'll be up there. I'm not worried about that at all. But it's how do I explain it? Like maybe in time I'll have the same confidence. But there's so many little things on this one that have been like, this is just a stock motor in a stock chassis with a lot of aftermarket parts. This is a lot of factory parts and then a lot of factory parts that I modified. So there are way more modifications on this than there is. Just the door latches and the door handle. Like,
Really?
That I fabricated all that to work as it does. None of it, it's not stock. It's modified. So think about that. To go through every piece that I had to modify to put this thing together like this, or that's been modified to work.
That is
I don't have as much faith. I don't know why.
Would you say that you're not scared but worried? Because if something does happen, it's
a Dodge, the lifters. Come on. That I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I will drive. I would drive both of them at this point. Now I would drive both of them anywhere, because I know that neither of them, well, other than the lifters, like I just mentioned, they're they're going to be fine. But everything would be small if anything does happen. Yeah. So I don't know. It's the rarity of some of the parts on it, and just knowing that everything's not quite exactly stock, you know.
How long did it take you to start to finish?
It was a 2-year process.
So a solid 2 years?
2 years, yeah.
If I could interject, I would say this is the reality of like the behind the scenes of a dream car, right? Because with the dream car like aspect, so you think of like something that almost whether you have money and you're just buying something versus and no discredit to that, but to actually take something and build something from the ground to the point where you get like, okay, like this is extremely modified the way I want it to be versus this is a one of what I wanted to be, is what I envisioned, it is what I wanted it to, I was creating in my mind, what I felt in my soul from the get-go. So you hear and feel like the anxiety in a way that this man has, because every nick and cranny of this vehicle he has been in and out of and beside of and waiting for, to the point that it drives him crazy, thinking like, well, I love this car so much, I love my creation, but what if something happens, or so
that would be my.
I mean,
worry,
look, I built it, I can fix it.
Right.
But it's just different that this one I don't. It's been 10 years, it's been bulletproof, so I think it's somewhat time. Like, I just need some
I
time.
would say definitely give it time.
Yeah.
And
It's still fresh, 2 years, like that.
And it'll get there. Like, things will probably happen, and then I built it once. I can fix it. I can make it better if I need to. Like, I'm all right with it.
Could you make me one?
Look, I mean, no, I will never.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you one bit.
I will tell you. Look, real quick.
Is it all-wheel drive?
No.
Damn, I was getting to that. Beat me to it.
It's just a Hellcat. Remember everything. It's full Hellcat, not Trackhawk. Just Hellcat.
But how cool would that be, though, if it was?
Gotcha. Yeah, no, the Hellcat, Charger and Challenger, rear-wheel drive only. It'll get me to a show, and that's where this thing's been headed lately.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I could have bought just a regular Hellcat, and then I wouldn't worry about it at all, right? I'd be go wherever I want to go. I wouldn't worry about it. Wouldn't think twice about it. But when I go to a meet in the Vert for the last 20 years of driving that thing around here, or the last 12 years, that's Coyote Swap. When I pop the hood, like there's kind of like some holy crap, it's a Coyote Swap, right? Yeah. If I had bought a Hellcat, just a regular one, a Charger, and I went to a meet with the family, I pulled up, I'm not gonna have that same reaction, right? I pop the hood, it's a Hellcat. There's probably 4 more there.
You got a point there, honestly.
There's probably like 4 or 5 of them there, or maybe more. So,
but at the same time, you got something unique, though.
Right, and that's what I say. Like, I could have done that, and I'd have the reliability, and then that like mindset of, well, I don't care, I'll just take it to the dealer, they'll fix it there, it's under warranty, whatever. I could have had that. But I would not have been. But I would not have. I would not have had the flip side, which is, I do worry a little bit about this car, like you asked. I'm honest about it. But when I pull up, like, there's not another one there, like, right? Yeah,
You're walking out like
it's one of one, and
Like you say, it's a one of one. Although there are many like it, this one is yours. You can't say that.
I haven't seen another one. I'm not gonna lie.
Two next to each other, they may look similar, but like you said, you took the back bumper and made
Really?
3 pieces into one. I don't know if it was.
well, no, there's none of these. This doesn't exist.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
gets the hand.
There's like, even without, just like,
People can say, well, hey, I've seen the wagons and that like this. No, you haven't.
No.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple people say how many of these did Dodge build.
Yeah.
Like they thought Dodge built.
Zero.
it. Right. And that,
Zero.
I explained that to this lady at the Monster Car Show. She was like one of the judges for the Monster Car Show. She's like, "Well, it's just." I'm like, "No, you don't understand. This is not a factory vehicle.
Yeah.
this doesn't
This
exist.
doesn't exist."
Right.
Oh my
This is a prototype.
That's crazy. How many miles are on it? Did you?
It's a high mileage. Like
High?
yeah, it was a high mileage donor car for sure.
So you
But-
took a Challenger.
Charger. I had to
Magnum.
get Charger
Charger.
because 4 doors. So I need the harness for 4 doors.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a
And
little more
so the
complicated
rear
than that.
end you had to get from a Magnum, of course, right?
The shell, the outside. Yeah, I
Okay.
had a donor for the Magnum. Yeah,
Okay.
it was a 2008 Magnum.
So it just took 3 cars to make.
No, just well, I guess if you include the front.
Yeah, I was
you're
gonna say,
right.
yeah, that-
Look, this car is all parts.
front
Like
end is
it's parts from
Hellcat.
all different things.
Excuse me.
Well, what is it legally titled as?
Yeah.
So the VIN is the Magnum.
Okay.
Okay.
The Magnum VIN.
Okay.
But the VIN on the fender isn't going to be that. The VIN on the front bumper, like if you want to,
Yeah.
those VINs are all
Yeah.
not going to be. Like that's a Challenger bumper,
Yeah.
front
I'm
bumper.
I'm really surprised Richard Rawlings hasn't got a hold of you. Like, hey, you want to sell that thing? Because he's such a
Well, a lot
Mopar
of
guy.
people
It's like-
ask, like, is it for sale? And like, you know, I guess everything's on sale. It's
Yeah.
just not on
Uh,
sale.
yeah, I was
Or
gonna say,
however
hold
you
on,
wanna
dude, choose
phrase
your
it.
words wisely. It's not
Well,
on
like,
sale.
It's
Or
so.
not
sale.
on
So,
Yeah.
So I hear that a lot though. Like, oh, I want to buy that. I want to buy it. Well, I've never heard a number. Like, no one's ever said
Half a
like.
mil.
Fantasized about one? Like if that was an aspect of someone was adamant, let's say a collector,
Yeah.
has that even been we
In my
often
mind?
discuss, like,
No.
builds of this leaving you in your lifetime?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I want to buy one more car, right? I've already said that. And I've said this many times, like, if I find it, because it's really been like a needle in a haystack. I'm really looking for a very specific, and, you know, I didn't buy new and they're not selling those anymore. So,
As you should be very specific.
well,
I mean, you
I
have big
just, I
shoes
wish
to
I had thought about this a little earlier. I wish this, because the 2024 was the last model year of the Blackwing with the current front end.
Okay.
I like that front end better than the 25 facelift. So now I can't buy a new one the way exactly that I want it. So I'm having to rely on the, you know, secondary market to have a car that maybe doesn't even exist. I have no idea. So I want no sunroof. It's got to be manual. It's got to have the performance seats. And it's got to be non-grayscale, which is the biggest killer of a Cadillac. If I don't want black, white, or gray, like that doesn't leave a lot of Cadillacs in that
luck.
pool. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've only seen one blue one and one red.
Yeah. So there's a lot of great colors. Like I'd be happy with, you know, Mark had, was it Wave?
Yeah.
Or is that your current one?
No, it's coastal.
Coastal's your current one, so Wave was your old
right
one.
now.
No, I went down to a base model.
Oh,
Yeah. So Coastal Blue is like one of my favorites.
No, it's a CT.
Yeah.
Or CTS,
It's
whatever you
CT5V. It's a V stuff.
wanna call it.
Yeah. So it's so there are some colors. There are
noticed
a
that.
few colors that I take. Just don't want black. So it's like needle in a haystack.
I don't blame you on that because I got a black. My Volkswagen's black. My Silverado's black, and it's just like I'm black.
Well, if I was gonna join the club, it'd be a white one because everybody in this little club has got like a white or a black car. So
I'm fine.
I've got white, black, and red.
Yeah, me too.
Damn it!
Oh yeah.
I got black and blue. That's about it. That's
so
about it.
if I buy the Blackwing, you know, one of them would go. Like I'm not gonna keep
Really?
3 cars for, you know,
Sunday driving.
yeah, like 3
Dude,
nice
no,
cars. So
I
one
would-
would go. One would definitely go. I don't know which one that would be, but one would definitely go.
Cobra.
I volunteered as tribute for storage for whichever vehicle.
I have room.
One will go. Would it be the wagon? I don't know. I mean, I built the wagon as the, you know, bring the family out to
Yeah.
everything and go anywhere in it. And we haven't really even done that. It's been 2 years now. I think we've, as a family, been in that car twice.
So is that the main aspect of you kind of looking at that particular car, saying that is more practical to include everyone in my family involved?
Well, yeah,
in that?
that's why I built it, right?
Well, but you also said you have to let one of these go.
Oh yeah, if
and
I get
you
the Blackwing.
would to get into the Blackwing.
Yeah.
Is that more of a personal preference of that car covers everything across what I need and what my family needs?
Like that's what this is supposed to do. I don't have, like, Paige has her car and these are mine. So right now I have to pick. Like, one of these is going to pick up the kids if I need to pick up the kids. One of these is going to the grocery store if I need to go to the grocery store. Like, that's the reality that I'm living right now. That would be easier with the Blackwing because, again, like I said, same thing about like a Hellcat. I can go and I don't care. The warranty's the warranty and I don't have to worry about it. So yeah, that would be easier. But yeah, this one could fill that part of the Blackwing. Yeah, you know, it could be replaced, I guess I'm saying, with the Blackwing. But I don't know which one it would be because it's gonna be a manual transmission Blackwing. So this is manual, and that's what makes this car fun, right?
That's a hard decision, dude. That's a hard decision.
This car is not fast, right? This car is it's okay, but it's not. It's adequate. It's not fast. But what makes it fast is because it's a convertible, right? If you're in a go-kart and you're out on a go-kart course, you feel like you're going fast, right? But you're doing 30 miles an hour. You're open air and the wind's blowing on you. Same thing like a jet ski. A jet ski's doing like 30 miles an hour. You're thinking you're flying in that thing. Well, yeah, with the top down and you're in the elements of this car, like 55 miles an hour feels kind of fast. And it's an older chassis and all that, so like 70 miles feels pretty dang quick. So it makes it fun. You think you're going faster than you really are. This thing will do well over 130 some miles an hour and still feel like it's not even going the speed limit yet. Like it just floats. Like 130 seriously feels like 75 in a normal car.
That's dangerous.
It's just I don't know. So it doesn't feel as fast as this one.
Yeah.
It is a lot. Obviously, this one is super quick. So it's 909 horsepower right now. And that's not E85 yet. So
Great Scott.
It'll scoot, right? It's super quick. But this car is just fun. You're banging gears. You're more involved. You got the top down. So with the Blackwing with that chassis and the manual transmission, like that's more engaging and fun for sure. So
But
I
this
can
is-
see where this Blackwing could
Replace the Mustang, but
I don't know which one's gonna be. I just know one's gonna go. It could be the Blackwing. I could get that thing and be like, you know what? Yeah, it's nice, but I'm not giving that up. And this wing is just as fun. I'm selling the Blackwing.
Honestly, like, I see the dilemma. You got 4 doors, manual. Blackwing's 4 doors, manual. But this is something that you and your wife can go out in. It's like date night type deal. You can do that in the Blackwing.
Do that in
too.
Blackwing? Yeah, I don't think she's gonna mind. I don't think Paige.
I don't know what it is. It might just be me.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we come out one night to go to dinner and Paige, which she chooses whichever car, and if that's the car we go, maybe I'll be like, okay, well I don't need the other one.
No, I can do that. I see. This is too hard of a choice. I'll just keep all 3 because that's hard because like just nothing like a 2-door. Go out on a date and everything. It's nice to have a 4-door fast car manual at that. Like that's like perfect. But you've had this for 20 plus years. You created this.
That's the first car I ever bought.
Exactly. So,
So
that I don't see how.
does, like,
oh, dude, I don't know how you're gonna make that decision.
Cars like, oh man, I don't even know what's every 6 months. What do you replace every 6 months? I can't think.
You're like Zach with wheels.
Make something out of air. Yeah, he's like the air filter or something like that. He's replacing that car every 6 months.
You and Zach would be good friends.
You guys know
he goes through
Booyah,
wheels
right?
like you go through cars.
Zach Gross, he
Yeah,
does go
it's
through-
bad.
Man, he's gone through a lot of wheels over the years.
So
Zach Gross with the Mr. Chrome
Cobra?
Cobra.
he goes through a lot of cars too.
Goes through a lot of wheels.
Oh, wheels. Oh yeah.
And he's like a shoe guy too. He likes shoes, so like he changes his shoes out. He changes his shoes on the car out. Yeah.
Look here,
I got a
hey,
new kid, yeah.
hey, calm that down, because I'm into my shoes too. All right, calm that down.
Hold on, twin.
Come on.
We
Come
giving
on.
a shout out, Zach. We had to bust
No,
his
I'm just
chops
kidding.
earlier,
I'm just kidding.
You know?
I had to, it's hard, especially with that. Me and Zach are almost identical. It's hard to keep into both those hobbies because both of them are really expensive. because we'll spend a good grand all month on shoes. We can turn around and sell them and get $1,500 in profit.
My buddy Michael
Oh, yeah,
Goforit, he
they
saw
are.
a whole empire off of selling shoes.
I bought my house off of selling shoes. I paid for my wedding selling shoes. Yeah.
Endless supply.
It's an endless supply, but right now the market is shit. It's terrible. Yeah. I got Hey Dudes on right now. Like, I'm out of it, dude. It's too.
Match my car, black and
Yeah. It's too much.
I got
And
New Balance. I guess I need to buy a Corvette.
Oh, man.
and carbon fiber is expensive. Really, especially for a GTO, because they don't make shit anymore for my car.
Yeah.
So I had to give up something.
That's the whole thing. It's not a GTO. It's a Holden with Pontiac badging. Hey,
I know.
this
I
because
know.
I work in the industry. So
I
when
know.
people say, I've got a G8 or I've got a
Yeah.
GTO. Can you
It's a
make these
Holden.
parts? No.
Yeah. It's a
Why
Holden.
not? They're a Pontiac. They're not made by Pontiac.
No. Well, it's a lot harder now, especially since they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
To find parts, and I spent a good probably $2,000 on just headlights,
Yeah.
and and one of them's used. It's insane. It's really bad. And all the carbon parts, I got put on a waiting list for a rear diffuser that's carbon, and I had to put a deposit down for $325. Yeah, it's bad. It sucks, but it'll be nice when it's done. My pockets will be holding lint, but it'll be nice. Be worth it.
Well, you got the rabbit? Pull your pockets out?
Yeah. You guys want to go out to eat? There's my food right there. But yeah, I can't wait to actually see this thing out on the road, man. Because seeing videos, seeing pictures, and everything else, and I'm not gonna lie, I was eyeing it.
That Redemax cruise we did was awesome.
I bet. And that's what I can't wait for it, because
Redemax cruise this year,
That was
it
fun.
awesome.
I haven't been
That was
in
the
any
best time
cruises
I
in a
had this
minute.
year with that thing, for sure.
I missed out.
It was so fun.
I was.
All
right past you.
yeah, right.
Man, dude, we had a ball.
That's something I can't wait for.
I somehow made it to the front of the line. I was at the light. I think I was trying to get up there.
What were you in this or that?
I had the wagon that day, and all the bikes came up on the lane next to me because they wanted to go, and they were doing great. They were like leading us. They were stopping traffic to the side, so it was great having them up there. But I don't think they knew what they were about to have happen. So
Must have been 600s.
Hey, whoop ass that you were going to lay out?
I'm gonna pause right there because I ride bikes. They were all 600s. There's no way.
No, you are right. No,
There's
100%.
no way in hell.
I'm not going to try and lie about that. I'm not going to lie about that at all. 686, is that a bike? Whatever.
686. Hell no. Let's see.
636, is that?
Yeah,
okay,
there you go.
whatever one it was. I remember 6. But yeah,
That's
that,
an
and
old
there were
bike, too.
some other 6s up there, and
Yeah.
they were there. But I don't think they had any clue like what was going to happen.
that's the
Like I don't
problem
think they
with
knew it was a
600
Hellcat, that
think they
alone
fast.
tuned. And I mean, I left. The thing hooked really well. It's full suspension, so it hooked out, moved out, and so then the R1 came to play though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full bolt on R1.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, what year? You probably don't know what year it was.
No.
It probably had like slick headlights. Were they like thin?
What's his name?
Jake?
Yeah, it's
Jake
Jake's
Hodge.
bike.
Yeah, Jake.
Yeah, that's
Hodge.
a new
Jake
one.
Hodge
Yeah.
is out there.
That was a new one.
Yeah. So
Bad baby. That's a bad baby. Ooh.
so we had a little fun. I had a guy waiting on me, and we tried to get a good race, but from a roll could never happen. So the most fun I had was right at the stoplight, just waking them up.
Jake
I
Hodge,
realized I woke the
full-on
beast.
bike crew, man.
Yeah. When Jake came up, I knew.
Volkswagen with a bunch of stickers on it.
Yeah.
He had a couple cars.
I wish I still had my R1. I wish I did. Because Zach was talking so much shit. Oh, I beat all these bikes. Dude, there were 600s. There's no way in hell you're beating up 1,000. Like, get the hell out of here. Oh, dude, I beat him. Like, I love you, Zach, but eat a dick. You ain't beating no 1,000, dude. Your car's fast, but it ain't that damn fast. Say that into the camera. No.
Jake and I never got an actual race. Like either I left and then I slowed down, and he was, but I could tell like that thing was.
It's nasty.
That was not something I was going to be able.
Bolt-ons and all that, dude. I'm fine with a stock bike. You doing bolt-ons? Like, I respect bikes. When you start doing bolt-ons and all this other stuff, turbos, nitrous, and all, like, I'm out. Can't do it.
If a bike pull up spooling, there's a problem.
Yeah,
There's a
nah.
problem.
You got a highway to you gonna die. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rides a 500 horsepower turbo Hayabusa.
Yeah.
No, you weren't loved as a kid.
No.
Not happening, bro. I can't do it, man.
Nothing to lose.
That's like when people do that.
Jeremy Guffey.
I know a few people that race bikes. I'm like, dude, you got a death wish, man. No, I just like being on the road. I did the road course on a bike, hands down, best experience I've ever had on a bike. It's fun. It actually saved my life one day. Not paying attention on the highway, leaving from work, thought a cop was behind me on the exit ramp. Not paying attention, looking behind me, almost went into a damn wall, and then just like yanked it over and saved my life. It's good stuff. That was crazy.
So, hey, real quick, all my bikers watching, please be careful.
Yes, please.
Wear your helmets.
We've lost.
Gear.
Wear
Yeah.
your gear. You know, I love my bikes, man, but that's the only thing I stay
Prepare
back
for the
from.
slide,
I
not
don't
the
know
ride.
if I ever own a bike.
You lost a lot of people the
Yes,
last
lost
2
a lot of
years.
people over the years.
Yeah,
and
it's
most,
bad.
And most of it, really 90% of it, wasn't even bikers' faults.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I can attest to it.
a lot of folks pulled out on people and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I've been in an accident with some lady in a minivan yelling at her kids. Green light, skirt, right behind her. Flipped off my bike. I was out of work for about 3 months.
Bikers.
Yeah, it's bad. Didn't have a helmet on either. That was my fault, but surprisingly, I'm still here. Definitely more cautious.
I've used 7 of 9 lives if I was a cat.
Same. It is crazy. But that's why we got into cars. Safer. 4 wheels on the ground. I was trying to play into that, just get back into it. I still got my victory. I want another rocket, but
I only got the best of both worlds. Racing V twin.
yeah, I had best of both worlds, but don't know why. Sold the R1. The person that was more mad about it than I was my wife. She yelled at me. Yeah, she was like, "The fuck you sell that for?" I don't know. Everybody said I should sell it so I can start getting into other stuff. Yeah. And I sold it. I still, to this day, I messaged the dude I sold it to. It was Matt Knight. Like, dude, let me buy it back. He won't do it. He got a steal. Low miles. Just give me what I owe. Dude, that bike was easily 13 grand.
How
He
long
got it
did
for
you sell
9.
it? How long ago did you sell it?
It's been about 5 years.
Still has it.
Heck yeah, he does. I still try to buy it from him. He won't do it.
5 years.
Yeah.
You're still trying to buy that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's stories like that that make me keep this thing for the rest of my life.
I regret a lot of stuff. Well, no, I don't regret a lot of things, but 13. Tosh exhaust and everything, dude. I babied the hell out of it, but
Configuration engine.
yeah.
It's like,
The thing is
why does
nasty.
the 4-cylinder sound like my V twin?
Yeah. It was crazy. As soon as I did that exhaust in there, they were like, even I still have the video and I still watch it to this day. I did when I swapped the exhaust and everything. Started it up, I'm like, holy shit, this is a V8. This is insane. Bike is nasty. Loved it. I don't know why people hated the Tosh exhaust. I loved it.
Well, did you have the 4 coming out the undertail?
Yeah, 4 right under the back seat.
Yeah.
That was the main reason why I love that bike. Because I love where the exhaust at. And it spit flames at night. Felt like I was on the jet. It was fun. But enough about me. I hate talking about myself on these things. Damn it.
It's your podcast. Don't people want to know about you?
Nah, see,
Yeah.
you're like the 5th person to tell me
Star
that.
Show too. You're the host.
I plan to do that later down the road. Just
The hostess with the mostest.
I do got mostest. No, it's mainly people always ask about GTO. When is it done? Be done when it's done. Damn it! Like Jesus, leave me the hell alone.
Have you told your R1 story before on the podcast?
No, I think that's the first time I told that.
As long as you're not repetitive.
First time I told
I don't
that
wanna hear
in
you-
bike stuff.
Like Rogan, I don't want to hear about another ice plunge every day. You know, like every time he's gotta...
I don't know how he does that.
Tell people the way it is. Unless you're funding my projects, don't
True.
matter when my car gets done.
Very true. I even told everybody. All right, I'm starting. I'm gonna start donating.
Sometimes life and priorities come before others.
Yep.
Kind of leaning
Like I feel like I'm kind of leaning towards that timeline of my life too. I feel like I'm at a crossroads where, and people say, it's possible to still do things with family. I don't have any kids yet, but at least the rest of my life has been on my mind a lot lately. And,
Yeah.
What direction I'm gonna go as far as that, and that's a conversation when it comes to family, and kind of hearing you talk about how you had a base in your mind, like, okay, the ideal wagon needs to be something that can accommodate the family.
Yeah.
So transitional periods, and reflecting on the car scene this year, I have come across a lot of my friends, even some people that I'm really close to in transitional periods. Pretty much every single guy that I used to run with, as far as people that were maybe directly next to me, just from like day-to-day weekly car meets, let's do it. Nick Delaney, Jonathan Gutierrez, Michael Roach. There's another Michael. I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on your last name. But most of these guys that I can mention, Denzel Riley. You know Denzel's a good friend of mine. A lot of these guys in the last couple years, Daniel Kreitzer. A lot of these guys in the last couple years have become fathers.
Yeah.
They have become fathers, and it's been beautiful to see. But at the same time, you see kind of like that transition,
Step
with,
back a little
people,
bit.
Yeah, people that kind of slowing down and backing up, and even me still being as active as I try to be within the scene, the behind the scenes, kind of opening up with this fire in front of me is like, not that it's been hard, but it's just been like an eyebrow raiser.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching, majority of them, huh?
Rent them.
Rent them?
Yeah, rent a couple kids.
Rent a couple kids?
Babysit.
Babysit.
Mine's for rent.
That being
babysit.
and that's
all that feeling's gonna go away.
I'm glad you said that, because a lot of them see me, their kids see me as, they tell them like, this is your Uncle Alex, and that's heartwarming to me, and I want to be active. My buddy Jake Janik and Victoria, they're gonna be getting married. That's another couple that was around me, and even people like Austin Farmer and Megan, they got like 2 kids now. So many people I can just sit here and mention, but I've seen so many people in the car scene, whether if I would just see them at meets, or if we've actually sat down like this, or we've had dinners together, we've broke bread, whatever the case may be. Like, so many people are in transitional periods, and I'm in a state now. Yeah, like, it's nice to hang out with you guys, and I feel like even back then when I was 18.
They're not
18,
dead
19.
though, right?
No, they're not dead, and these people, I still see them. We still hang out, and it's fine.
They still have cars.
Yeah, they still have cars.
They still get out.
Well,
Not as much.
Nick sold his Mustang. Nick sold his Mustang. Yeah,
If
but
you want to talk about transitional periods, again, once their kids are of age, then you get to start having these experiences with them. If your kids get into cars, like my son's about to turn 16, and just my hobby of having cars and him being around it, he genuinely started getting interested in it. Again, transitional periods, whether it's kids, family, or work, it's all going to dictate the kind of toys that we can have. I can't tell you how many posts I've seen on the site over the last 2 years of people wanting to modify a Corolla, and I'll get on there super fast, and I was like, you need to embrace this time and work on all the other things that you got to work on. Don't put a dime into these cars from getting from point A to point B. Again, transitional periods are always going to happen, but these things...
Not that it's impossible.
It's not, yeah.
Not that it's impossible.
But you need to focus on something else. Wait.
At the same time, it's not a priority. Yeah.
Priorities.
I will tell you this: when you do get married, dude, it'll probably be the biggest wedding in Northwest Indiana. I can tell you that right the fuck now.
Man, dude.
Be the biggest wedding in this area.
Hey, but
That's
The biggest car one
so
too at that.
the ones that you were talking about before, the ones that you were talking about before that are, you know, in these transitions, they moved on, they've got family. You were saying like you've been thinking a lot about that, seeing that going around you. But did any of them rush into those situations?
Well, I tell you what, most of those situations are, I'm gonna let them tell their story when it's time because that's kind of personal. So, what I'll say about me though, because you said that, yes, I am a man of pace. I definitely do not feel rushed, even though if I sounded like I felt rushed, then, I apologize, but it's not that I feel rushed. It's not that I feel pressured, but, it's just something that I've been thinking about a lot, Yes, sir.
What age are you?
I'm 28.
28.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm almost twice your age. I'll be 54 in December. So, when you guys were the old youngins,
Yeah.
I was the old guy already.
Right.
So it's like coming around the scene, like you say, things change. So with you guys being as young as you are now, that's basically when I started dating, got married, had a kid, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, priorities do change in life. So don't feel like you're gonna beat yourself up.
Yeah, and that's definitely, I'm glad you said that too, because I feel like people in my generation, we're all somewhat blinded in a way because it's like when you're in your 20s, your 30s, maybe people from high school or mutual friends that you guys have, and you're looking at everybody like, oh my gosh, everybody is dating or everybody's having babies or everybody's having
You remind me of
kids.
George.
Huh?
You sound like my buddy George.
Yeah.
Papa.
Realistically, a lot of my friends, we all are in like that age range where we're all sort of kind of having kids within 2-3 years
Yeah.
of each other.
I was 35 when I had my first kid, Alex. You got plenty of time.
Yeah.
33 and a half.
Yeah.
It's not on purpose. All of the kids are on accident.
You got time, man.
Yeah.
Relax.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
But yeah, I guess in my own personal factors that my parents are on the older side. So
That's the other thing too. Don't rush to satisfy your parents of being grandparents.
yeah.
Don't do that. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
that's
see a lot of
true.
people that rush into doing that, and then things just take a downhill slope from there.
Yeah. So, but family, ultimately family is important, and whether you're planning to have kids or, definitely, if you're sitting here right now and you got a good relationship with your family, or if you're watching, you got a great relationship with your family, I salute to you. And if you don't have a solid relationship with your family, then one way or another, I hope that you guys reach that resolve one way or the other, Good, but I got love for family and maintaining that over the years. But with my friends too, I call some of those guys I mentioned, those guys are my family. I got love for you guys too, obviously, Mike's like a big uncle to me.
So what's the scene like with all these? I'm going to use this
So-
term very loosely right now and call these guys OGs. We'll go back to some real OGs.
That's a really
maybe
good
after
question.
this. But what's the
who's the
scene like
youngest
with
here?
these? What's that?
Who's the youngest here?
The youngest?
Right now,
No.
Yeah.
I'm hit.
One of these two.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's probably.
Yeah,
I'm 31.
clean cut,
So
clean cut.
Well,
do I
Clean
fall
cut,
in the
Mark.
category of OG?
I can go way back with Mark when he was a little boy. His dad used to come into Plymouth Cycle when I worked in the parts department buying jet ski parts and stuff like that.
Hold on a goddamn minute, dude. You used to work at Maxim's, didn't you?
I did.
Man, I had an epiphany.
I sure the fuck did. I'm like, hold on a goddamn minute, dude.
Big Bob is in the house.
Holy shit. Dude, I've been in that dealership all the damn time. You always help me out with my damn parts. Holy fuck.
Got to censor out this whole skit over here.
Dude, my mind just got fucking blown. Holy hell.
That's another censor.
That's how you know I'm getting
Good
old.
memories are bad memories.
Yeah, spending all the time and money. Dude, I knew you looked familiar as shit. Holy fucking shit.
About 15 years. So I started October of 06, left for 6 months, came back for about 15 months, left for about 9 years, went back for about 4.5 and said, adios, never again.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dude, that is insane.
I knew how to do my job, but they hired a new parts manager that never worked a day in the power sports
Why the hell
industry.
did they hire you as a parts manager?
Because the owner and I do not see eye to eye. I don't care if I was at his level.
Yeah.
But
very funny.
yeah, it's just like, if you don't value me as a person and
Yeah.
my knowledge, I'm done. Peace out.
Damn. I feel stupid. I apologize. Did I not remember that?
OG's out.
Man, so we touched base on that the last time, you know, we saw each other on Liquid Therapy, and OG presence is on and off. But I don't stress about it. But
I don't care. Like, I understand they're going to roll in and roll out. Like you said,
Right,
yeah, there's- I
right.
get that.
Yeah,
But
so-
how's the scene? Like, you know, I'm gathering whoever's left is either some newcomers or the ones
Oh,
that
so
haven't.
you're talking about like the general? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of young minds, and a lot of different setups. And in a way, I'm just trying to keep up as best as I can, and thankfully and gratefully, for the most part, you know, I still keep up with all the new people that come around and learn names,
that's a
learn
lot, dude.
faces, learn cars. But I have, you know, I think about that constantly. It's like, if you split it up by like classes, if you split them up by, if it's like a TV show and you split it up by seasons, you know, so what season are we in now? Is this season 10 that we're about to be in? You know what I
was gonna say
mean?
about season 10.
Yeah, you're right. So, you know, it's, yeah,
cast.
seriously. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, man, this cast is crazy.
It keeps
right?
changing, man.
And
You are more about the cast than the cars, I think.
I think no, it
I
mixes.
think
It
so.
mixes.
I
It
think
mixes.
so.
You know your people,
we
though.
bring him to a car show, and you know there's maybe 20 rows. We won't get through the first row. He's already gone. He's sitting back talking to the second car. This
Yep.
not even.
God.
Yeah,
He's still
it's
at the-
true.
He's still he's still back there.
and he's talking to the guy
Yeah.
next to him.
The guy exactly. We
You
were
still telling your good stories? Because every time I came to a car meet, he was like, "Hey man, I just went through this whole breakup and everything."
Whoa.
It'd be a whole different, be a random ass story. We're talking about chicken wings. He was like, "Dude, you heard about those burgers?" I'm like, "The hell are you talking about burgers? I'm talking about chicken wings."
we'll be done with the whole thing. We'll walk the whole thing. We'll come back. Alex still at his car.
Yeah, it's a good time though. We're not knocking you, bud.
So, I mean, hey, I
I
love.
love you for it. No, I
Yeah.
do. I'm a
The way you can remember everybody's names too, dude. Hey, hats
I mean,
off to you.
I got.
problem working retail as long as I have throughout my life.
Yeah,
I could see somebody once, not see him for maybe 2-3 years. They
Yeah.
come back into business. I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going, Dave or George or John or whoever?" And they're like, "How do you remember?" I go, "Work retail. You know, it's
well, why didn't you say something to me?
Literally,
I know you recognized me. I know you had to.
one of those things."
it's one of those things. You got.
He was like, "I want to wait for
He
him
want,
to say
yeah, he
something."
wanted to let you do it. Sometimes it's nice when other people do it.
Yeah.
No, literally the other night at Rosebud, I had dinner at Rosebud the other night up the street, and I recognized. So it was I think he was a grade above me. We were on the tennis team together. It was Colin Richter's father, and I recognized his dad. And I haven't seen Dr. Richter, I'm sorry. Dr. Richter, he's a dentist, since his son graduated. And I recognized him. I was like, "Oh, how you doing?" Da-da-da. He's like, "How do you remember me?" I said, "I don't know. I will not forget a face, that's for sure. I definitely won't forget a face."
You play tennis?
Yes, I played tennis.
I'm sorry, that just threw me off for a second. I'm like, what?
I started lifting after high school, but yeah, when I was in high school, I did everything that you never thought. I was
So you're
I was
a
involved in
Carlton.
theater. I was involved
You're
in
a Carlton.
choir. I wasn't a Carlton necessarily. Maybe if you find an old picture of me, maybe you'll say, yeah.
You pretty much described it
Yeah,
to
I
a
was gonna
T
say.
there, Alex. I don't know. if you
Theater.
You weren't
I was-
lifting. You're probably a little bit skinnier. It sounds like Carlton.
Yeah, I was
Like,
in
come on.
theater. I was in choir. I played tennis. I rode my bike everywhere. Oh man, I miss that. I miss that more than anything. The condition I was in when I rode my bike all the
Yeah.
time.
Never
I'm
gained
old
weight.
school BMX because I was the 80s.
Yes.
I was in my teens in the 80s when BMX was a big thing. So
It was still big in '90s. Oh, cool.
we would ride from South Haven to Portage to Lake Station to Hobart to Maryville to Cherville to wherever in a day. And do it daily
Yep.
because that was our mode of transportation.
Yep.
And it's just like we would ride city to city to pick up our friends, and we just have a big rat pack
Yep.
kids on bicycles.
Those are the best days.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
barely
yeah.
even see that
Now
anymore.
we're in cars doing it.
Man, yeah.
You said we're in version 10, season 10. Is that what you said?
Basically.
I think no, this is like the end of season 10.
Yeah.
We're going
end
into
of
season
10.
11
Yeah.
next year. That's what we got.
So how new was Nice when I did those cars, not keyboard?
Oh, Noice was
4 years old by then?
I was like, what? Yeah, like season 3, season 4.
Because that would have been 2012. So you've been
No.
around here longer than that.
No, later than that.
Was it?
Yeah, because Noice officially started 2014, the summer of 2014. I
Well, I
want to
must have
say.
started those like right away. I must have been out with like year 1 or 2 then. Because
Actually,
the swap was done in 12. And
Yeah.
I started doing those soon
yeah,
after.
and that kind of went along with like not a lot of people knowing you yet.
yeah.
So a lot of people didn't know you at that time.
Well, not through that crowd, no.
Yeah.
Not through your crowd.
No,
I
not
should
through
say.
not through the Noice crowd
Right.
anyway.
Yeah. That sounds
Yeah.
And
right.
that's crazy too.
'Cause
That
that
it
was
started
season-
in 2014. You said.
I always mix up the yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
because
know.
That was season.
This is 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It started in
season 10.
2014. Yep.
It's crazy too because
The
I
first
remember
V meet was in 2015. Next
'Cause
year is
when-
10 years of V meets.
when
Yep.
did Paul Walker pass away?
2013.
13, yeah. Because I remember me, Zach, and
2013.
Trevor, we put on a big. I didn't think it would be this big. We put on a big meet at Simon Says,
Yep.
and then that's when you came about. It's like, oh damn, you took our thunder. What the hell?
No, man, not even that. Not even that, man. I mean, shout out you guys, and shout out Andre Brody.
Oh,
there were
yeah.
there were like a lot of shout out Tim Ringer. There were a lot of guys that were out here.
There's a guy that if you want to see a bunch of cars, you go talk to him. He's changing
Man.
every month. And he's flipping them most. I
Man,
think he
I'm
flips a lot of
telling
them.
you, I'm telling you.
But if you're on season 10 with Nice, I mean, this is season 20 for me. Like,
Ain't that crazy?
yeah. So
Jesus.
you know, you guys talk a little bit about some of the things before, before Nice. When I got here, 20 years ago, I left
2004.
I left the mountains and I was snowboarding a lot. It was great. But I got here and I noticed when I was driving around, like, so I had this and I had it in the garage. And whenever I'd go out for a ride around the neighborhood or whatever, I'd notice everybody in their garage had something under covers.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, well, I can't snowboard anymore. I was kind of disappointed that I wasn't gonna be able to do that, but I figured, all right, this
Yeah.
could be right.
Corn. You can snort. That snort.
But I thought,
Snow?
No, surf,
so
snowboard,
smooth,
some
man.
corn if you want.
You want a piece of me, man? Come on.
so when I got here, like seeing all these garages full of toys, I'm like, well, this is gonna be more fun, maybe,
Yeah.
for the car scene. And sure enough, like every day back then, there was some White's Pit Stop. I think you guys mentioned that on the podcast before.
Bussin', bro.
That one was always good. Thursdays on the square. So
White's Pit Stop,
Dude,
man.
I
If you
remember
just said
those,
White's Pit Stop,
dude.
Stephen Goggins about to have a about to have
so
an
that-
aneurysm
so that
somewhere.
for me is
bro, he
probably-
loved White Pit Stop, bro.
that's probably what, year 15 or that's like year 5 for me. So that's like 15 ago. But before that was Miami Subs. I don't
Dude, White's
remember
Pit
anybody
Stop
saying
was
that.
great. We
Yeah.
should bring that back next.
Dude,
Is
they're
it
a
Cam-
lot smaller now, though.
Yeah.
They're
Huh?
a lot smaller. They shrunk their store.
Where's Susie? Where's Susie, man?
So
White's
Miami
Pit Stop
Subs, you
was
guys, this is
great.
probably
was.
before you guys. Miami Subs, you guys.
Miami
remember
Subs?
that
I
one?
don't even
I don't
remember
Miami Subs. I don't
Yeah,
remember that one.
see, that's the
I remember
original
that one.
seasons. There we go. So on 45th is that Euro place.
Yeah.
It used to be called Miami Subs, I'm pretty sure. And every Wednesday, that's where we would meet. So it was before Whites even.
Were you
That's
talking
gotta
about
be
the?
time.
Before Whites?
Yeah, it was
No, are you
before
talking about
Whites.
the? That's what was at where Highland Euro is now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, as a
we
matter
used-
of fact, I remember that when I was a
Yeah,
kid. I would
yeah.
see cars there.
So that's where
Yeah.
we would first start, and that's when we would go from there to 141st, and that's when Kurt sprayed the rods out of his Mustang, and we used to have a lot of fun back then, which was great, but.
Times have changed.
It did.
You know,
It did kind
I
of
tell
die
you
out,
what-
and that's when his stuff started up, which
I tell
was
you
great.
what, though.
And that's kind of probably what led me to doing that Cars Not Keyboard stuff. Is because, that kind of, I don't know.
Call you out.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
it was fun.
happening. At least not for me. Like I was kind of a new guy back then, so. And rolling in with a convertible that makes more noise than I don't know what. Like the thing was so loud back then, and it had atmosphere blow off and stuff with the
Yeah.
supercharger and like super crazy loud. So the car wasn't even that fast, and I couldn't buy a race back then. So
Some of the largest efforts I've seen today, not necessarily from this area, or people from this area travel to it, is Slammed Enough Gatlinburg. Slammed Enough, Slammed Enough is like a mainly tuner based car show.
Especially in the name.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
it travels throughout the country over the year, but their Gatlinburg turnout easily brings out everybody, brings out so many people from around the country. And I feel like if you feel that maybe like car culture is dying, you do that for one weekend. And even if you don't make it to the show, what you do is you get a nice group, even if it's a couple guys like this.
Yeah.
You go get an Airbnb or a cabin, you drive your cars down there, or you trailer them, whatever the case may be, and go for that weekend. And even if, like I said, even if you don't go to the show, just drive around that entire weekend, and you will see people across the strip of Sevierville and Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge. Everybody just posted up on the strip, waiting for people. They're cruising up and down, northwest, east, northwest, east, south, like everywhere. People everywhere. And I feel like if you go back like 10 years ago, like that old school excitement where it's like people are everywhere. Yeah. Like the streets are flooded with cars, like you said, like the White's pit stop vibes. Like that's how it was every single inch of Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, that entire weekend. And it was so much fun. And I feel like if people revive that in their local communities, then everything will be so much better. Because it is so bold, it is so brave, it is so lively, what people do out there. And at the same time, this time was a little more tame because due to rowdiness of the last few years, they didn't even know if it was going to happen this year. It almost got canceled. So gratefully and gracefully, people behaved themselves for once, right? But
That's
people
hard to do.
still showed out and popped out and had a great time.
It's like
And
pretty much all of the events down there.
Yeah.
I've heard they've been cracking down, so it doesn't matter what car event.
Right.
It's just- they're getting to the point where it's just like people come into town, take over town.
Mm-hmm.
They want to bitch about people being in town, but look at the money that they're bringing in for tourists.
100%.
So it's
100%.
You got to pick and choose your fights in a way.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Acting stupid, you're going to get punished. But like I said, at any car event around here, you're always going to have your...
You got two mics.
Hey, two fisting tonight. Woo! But yeah, it'd be the fact, like you say, at any event that you guys put on around here or
Yeah.
where I've been for the last I'll say 50 years because going to car shows with my dad growing up and that. It's like you act stupid, you're going to get treated accordingly.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of these events get canceled because people are acting stupid in the parking lot, whether they're racing or doing burnouts, throwing glass bottles. It's like, come on. It's like
Bringing quads to
common sense.
car shows and riding them in the parking lots.
Yeah. So,
Stupid.
but like I said, there's a point where it's like, hey, you got to pick and choose, but it's like there's a time and a place, and most of the time it's not the place.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Oh no, you're good. We can cut it here. You're
Okay.
good. You're good.
I think
Yeah. No, you're good.
Good deal.
Everybody's good.
All right.
Appreciate everybody coming. We were getting into some good stuff. We're definitely gonna have to do this again. Hopefully, we can do the season opener since it's basically the season end right here.
Hey,
Sure.
we can do that.
That would be actually awesome.
This is
Start
nice.
out, start out the
It's a nice
season.
group of
Yeah.
minds here.
The
It'd be a
season
thing.
opener.
Yeah.
Who
Like
brought
what-
what new to the table?
Exactly. That's good. Maybe I'll bring my car actually done this
hey,
time.
both of us will bring our cars done.
That'll actually be
Can we-
good.
can we plan
Cars
that?
done, Cars modified.
Yeah.
Pieces,
Yeah.
parts.
That'd actually be really good. That'll be really
Relationships,
good.
marriage, whatever.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, never know.
All on liquid therapy.
But thank you. Damn it. See, now my mind's gone. Been doing it too long. I'm gonna go this way.
Find it.
Had me, you lost me.
Find it.
Yep. Have me then lost me. Christian, Alex, Mark, Bob,
Yep.
Michael.
Yeah.
2 for 2. 2 for 2. Thank you guys for actually taking the time out and being on the pod. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully, so actually get some good views and show some people that, hey, bring back the OG stuff because the new stuff is not working for us right now. So,
Go outside. Have
yeah,
fun.
Go outside. Forget the phones.
Quit playing
Yeah.
on computers.
Stop racing.
Stop
racing
wondering
for
if
money.
people are. One thing I want to say: stop wondering if people are out. Don't
Just
get
go
on
out.
the post and ask like, "Oh, who's all there?" Go,
Yeah,
go,
just
get in your
go.
car and go.
Make new friends.
Put gas in your car.
You never know.
Spend,
You might
you'll
meet
spend
new
$10
people.
total driving. Oh my God!
Get off your
Let me
lazy
rant.
butt.
I'm a rant one time. So I'm
God
gonna
damn it.
rant before we cut. I'm gonna rant before we cut, and now I'm gonna say this and we're done. So we did like a hide and seek meet where it was like people were the young guys. They like when we do the midnight meets and stuff like that. The younger crowd likes that stuff because they're
Basically
nocturnal.
saying, rave for cars.
Yeah,
A rave
basically.
for cars.
Sure,
Sounds
yeah,
like
yeah.
it.
So they were like, we were like, well, if you guys want a midnight meet so bad, y'all got to find us. So Kyle, one of our guys, Kyle Ashlock and Jake Janik. Well, it was Jake Janik's idea actually. He made the map, and we circled where we were like on the map. And when you looked at the map on the post that we made, it was Indianapolis Boulevard. So we calculated from Hammond Aldi, like the beginning of Indianapolis Boulevard off of 94 to Route 30 was exactly like 9.7 miles. So now take 9.7 miles and let's calculate the average miles per gallon that somebody spends.
Look here, you're
or-
doing too much
no,
damn
no,
math
no,
for me right
no,
now.
no, just hear me out.
No.
So the average,
I'm
I know where
out.
he's going with this.
so yeah, so ultimately, and then if you take premium or 85, so ultimately, nobody was spending more than $10 if you had to go up and down in mileage and miles per gallon and fuel costs. So the people that found it.
Yeah.
They didn't complain. But the people that didn't find it was like,
It's bullshit.
it was bullshit. Why you got me driving?
Yeah.
Gas prices are so expensive. You don't cruise your car. You don't put gas in your car and just cruise. Enjoy it. Put some friends in your car. Tell your other buddies to get in your car and just drive.
I ain't
But
gonna
here
lie.
would be my other thought. What do they spend on their other habits?
Oh, we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Right. We can't talk about that.
That's on the low.
Yeah, we
If
can't
you
talk about that.
partake in energy drinks or coffees or whatever and that.
I know y'all get y'all Starbucks in the morning. Y'all ain't slick.
Nope, nope.
Your venti left.
I have never had a cup of Starbucks coffee in my life.
I don't even like coffee.
I think a lot of the meets that we do lately,
Yeah.
like we cruise out just for the drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this used to be about.
Like I
for
said,
us.
that was
Yeah.
all our
Yeah.
things. Like doing the local meets, like, okay, 10, 15 miles. No, I'd rather go up to Wisconsin almost, or like say, going up into Michigan.
That'd be nice.
I'll get real with you. Like those ice meets,
Uh-huh.
Aldi over and over again. I think that's what drove us to go elsewhere. Like it got too repetitive. Like you see the same thing. And honestly, like we're talking about virgins.
Virgins.
Whoa, now, whoa.
Sorry. Yeah, that.
Hold on a minute.
he sits back. Wait a minute. This is where the good talk's coming out now.
We interrupt this broadcast.
Liquid therapy after hours.
Yeah. Jesus. Gonna have to put this on this private website now. Damn. Jesus.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
That was great.
Go ahead.
No, like transitions. So we got bored. No offense, but we got kind of bored of all the over and over again, same cars all the time.
Yeah.
Now we're to the point though that we've gone to Vernon Hills, like what is that, north side of Chicago, like however far that is. Like we've been everywhere. We drive anywhere and everywhere. We go to all these other meets. Honestly, I'm getting kind of like the same thing over. Like there's only so many freaking Lamborghinis and everything else I can see, to where I have gotten to the point where now I'm like, let's go for the ride. Let's go back out for the good food and the good conversation that we have at the table, and then let's get a ride home. And that's more of what I'm into lately than any of the other stuff.
Yeah,
So.
it's all fun, and I mean I'm in agreement with you guys. Even sometime even me, so I'm like, man, y'all want to do Aldi again, or you guys want to? I'm in agreement. Folks got to move around a little bit every now and then. And
You got out to Iron Gate. You love it.
I mean, I'm an advocate for cruising more than meets. Like
That's
if it was
what
up,
I'm doing.
if it was up to me, we would cruise
Driving,
way more
doing
than we
stuff.
have
Red
meets.
Max,
But
Red Max
I
is
just,
awesome.
me, my role, I just got to try to make the people happy as much as they can.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can't make everybody happy. But if
Absolutely.
it was up to me, believe me, 56 cars at a meet. 56 cars cruising. Where are we going?
Yeah.
Let's go see some. Let's go meet some people.
Go
Man.
make
That was a
And
nice picture.
That's how it used to be.
When we were in New Buffalo.
That's true. That's true.
Season 11. Come see what we got.
Season 11 coming soon.
Yes.
That picture that we have in New Buffalo is just that train of cars. That's a
I
great
got out of my
picture.
car at the stoplight. Only had like 20 seconds. I was like, babe, give me the phone. Ran out of my car. Click.
That's a great shot.
Got in the car. The light turned green. I
How
was
many
like,
cars
yes.
do we have that day?
It was great. That was really like 50 cars. 50
at
cars
least
and
50
bikes
cars.
that would cruise on New Buffalo.
I mean, that made for a freaking awesome
Yeah.
picture. 50 cars all the way down Highway 12 in New Buffalo.
And you know how small like New Buffalo is when you get
Yeah.
in. People looking.
I love those lights. It's a nice touch.
We drink to one podcast and one podcast only.